Okay, so here we go. Rather extensively used the VR1 version of this lens, which had an issue in the fact that it wasn't very sharp. This is the obnoxiously expensive and insanely overpriced lens for those that have way more money than they have brain cells between their ears. And I showed people that I'm not getting this lens. I had use of it for 2 weeks. It's leaving my company on Tuesday, a couple days from now. I don't even want to get it out of the package. Do I have to get it out of the package? It's obnoxiously heavy. You know a lens is expensive when the case that the case that it comes with is $280, and the lens hood, I crap you not, the lens hood, go to Nikon's own website, $850 for the lens hood. I think the cheapest you can get it is a B&H Photo actually has the lens hood for, I think it's $600. Anyway, and of course it comes with its own super heavy duty strap. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, unless you're an event photographer or a sports photographer for a sideline, this is great for actually, and of course this lens does require a monopod. You can hang it around your neck and bring it up to your eye, you know, for shooting for a minute or two. And I'm actually the last person to complain about hauling around heavy lenses. I mean, I pack around the 200 to 500 with my own invention, a tactical shot sling and monopod, no problem. So I'm actually the last person to bitch about heavy lenses, but this lens is just an obnoxious, dirty bleep. I can't use the word I'm thinking of right now. Rhymes with hooker. No. It's just an awful lens. It doesn't render well. What do you mean doesn't render well? Everybody says it's the best portrait lens in the world. Yeah, people that are not too damn bright or don't know much about lenses actually do say that. And it does blow out the out of focus elements of the background really well. Yeah, the only problem is that there's lenses that do a much better job that weigh a ton less and will give you basically the exact, well, pretty much exactly the same image. Not only that, far better micro contrast and far better if you plan on rendering it in black and white. This lens is a bit of a $6,000. I think current price right now on this one is $5,700. This is the VR2 NIKKOR 200mm f2. Now the VR on this relative to the VR1 seems to be about a stop and a half better. It is extremely noisy. It sounds like you got your head in a washing machine if you're in a quiet room with it, but that's okay, that's okay. It's really noisy VR. Yeah, I love the fact that the lens hood is $600 for it, and the case, this case is basically $300. It's no good as a portrait lens. It's too damn heavy. It does require a monopod. Like I said, you can bring it up to your eye every few seconds if you want. So you're either going to, have it hanging around your neck because you don't put this lens on your camera, you put your camera on this lens. This lens weighs 102 ounces. It has way too high of an element count. I know that this lens is actually ideal for shooting the sidelines of football, basketball, and sporting events. And something else that's also really good at, and I would recommend it for, is if you're a event photographer or someone that actually shoots in dark, seedy locations of like indoor events like music halls, or if like you're shooting an orchestral, because that's right around where the 7200, people using a 7200 2.8, they can't afford this lens, are using that at 200mm at f2, and this does a better job with really great VR at 200mm, and it is a faster lens, obviously so. It's just a horror. I mean, there's six. Let me point out something really important. There's a reason I have 6 of these lenses, and there's a reason why. Someone called him my bestie, a friend of mine. I got 6 of these lenses. Here it is, the 180mm 2.8 NIKKOR. This lens renders much better than the 200 f2. Far superior micro contrast, renders infinitely better in black and white. This does not weigh a ton. This is an all-metal lens made in Japan, by the way. Nikon still makes this lens for a reason. This lens new, I believe, is 1,100, but they're all day long since they've been making this for a really long time. I just recently looked and checked again, because I haven't bought one in a long time, even though I got 6 out. They're running right around $400, $450. Let me point something out to you here, if you're not very clear on what I'm talking about. $6,000 $450. 6,000. If you find one used, a VR2 like this, around $4,800, something like that, $4,800. So $6,000, 6,000, 450. Let me do the math on that. A crap load of money, not much money. This is a far better lens. It doesn't blow out the background as good. It does. It blows out the background plenty good. I'd actually suggest you check the Flickr page out for both of these lenses. You'll see that this does a far superior job in black and white than this lens does. Let's subtract. Let's do some math here. Let's take $6,000 and subtract $500 from it, basically. I'm pretty sure that means this lens, which is inferior, is $5,500 more money. Yeah, pretty sure my math is pretty accurate on that. Like I said, the only reason I could see buying this lens is if it's a tax write-off, or for your business as a professional photographer who does basketball, football, or like Olympics, sideline. Of course, the Olympics are only every few years. You know, those sort of sporting events. Or if you're someone that actually is a professional on tour that is paid to take pictures of, you know, XYZ famous band up on the stage, and they're shooting, you know, they're playing in the middle of the night, or, you know, it's really dark. This is an ideal lens for that. As a dark, fixed event photography lens, this is an ideal lens for that. This lens, other than that, this is not the world's best portrait lens. Absolutely no. There's a lot of people out there, including some of the top YouTube channels, and the only reason they're top is not because they're top in the brains department. They're top because they appeal to a lot of people by, you know, talking nice. Crikey, mate! Some people think this lens is really awesome for portrait photography, and I will just tell you flat out, by not being too insulting, that those people don't know what the hell they're talking about, nor have they even come close to using a tenth as many lenses as I have. This is a far superior lens. There's a reason why some of the world's best fashion and portrait photographers swear by this lens over that of even their own child. Not literally, but, you know, I think you get the implication that I'm making. The VR, I said, is about a stop, or possibly 2 stops better than the old one, and it is sharper. You know, there's no denying that the 200 f2 is really sharp. For $6,000, this is a heinously heavy, obnoxious, slutty lens that, you know, like I said, unless you're doing event photography or sideline sport photography, and I know what the hell this lens is used for, you know? I would not recommend this lens to anybody unless they had those, you know, I can write it off on my taxes, good, fine. You know, go out and buy a really heavy-duty monopod for it. And, you know, you're going to use it at the sidelines of a concert or a seedy, dark event, sideline of basketball, football, you know. This lens is great for that. As a portrait lens, no. There's much better options than this as a portrait lens. No. But hey, if you got a ton of money and you just, you know, don't know, you know, you're worried about either blowing your money or flushing it down the toilet, and you just got a ton of money, then hey, this is that lens for you. You know, go for it. Most people don't have that issue. And that's why I can't recommend, you know, really anybody buy this lens unless they have those narrow use parameters for, you know, sports or event photography. It's made in Japan. It's absolutely excellent. The VR on it's really good, and it is incredibly sharp. It doesn't have really good micro contrast. It does blow out the background, foreground, really good. It does blow out. It's, oh my God, the bokeh on this lens is amazing. You know, with compression, if you frame your subject correctly, you know, you get some wonderful lens compression out of this, and some beautifully ethereal blown out. That's wonderful. That still doesn't make this the best portrait lens in the world. Not even close. Because I've already used this for black and white photography, and I go to convert the TIFF file to black. No, this will do a much better job. It costs $1 billion less, and it weighs about 1,000 pounds less. And it's a far superior lens for portraiture than this is. That's the 180mm 2.8. Yes. So, no, I didn't buy this lens. I'm glad I got to use it for these past 15 days or so, but I'm not keeping the lens. It's not mine to keep. But no, I can't recommend this lens to really anybody. This is where everybody's. There's a lot of people out there that it's really expensive and huge. It's got to be good. No, that's not true. You want to know? Let's just forget about this freaking lens. I forgot to mention it before I end this video. If you're just looking for huge ass fat, great compression, blow the hell out of the background, you know something is far superior than this? I mean, talking about if you like big fat ass lenses like huge, far superior to this, far better micro contrast, far better. 300mm f2.8. Okay, I got 3 of them. There are 7 different versions. Well, autofocus, there's 4 different versions. No, 5 different. The AFI sucks because you can't get replacement motors for it anymore. The first AFS, which is my favorite, 2001, 2004, is the best value. There's the AFD before that, which is really good, but super shitty, slow autofocus. But you can get that lens for like $1,400 or so from Japan. $1,400. That lens is the tits compared to this. It'll blow the hell out of this lens. Much rather have any 300-2.8. Any 300-2.8 for portraiture than this lens. Let me repeat that. Any 300mm 2.8, unless it's an old turd, any 300mm 2.8 is far more desirable for portraiture than this obnoxiously, heinously heavy, horribly expensive lens. Period. That kind of period, where I bang the table. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, you always click the link below. And I have no affiliate links. You know, if I had affiliate links, you know what I would do? And if I had no ethics and I had affiliate links, I'd be like, this lens is the best in the world! Click the link below! Because I get a big fat kickback. Yeah. This is the difference between having affiliate links and not. Because, oh my god, he just reviewed that really expensive lens and he said it basically sucked and he didn't recommend buying it. You know? What's wrong with that boy? I got more lens experience than the rest of them. You could think I'm the son of Satan. You could think I'm a fat, bald, ugly guy. Well, I am fat, bald, and ugly. All of that's true. But I got more experience than them on lenses. I can't recommend this lens. You know? Doesn't matter to me if you buy it or don't buy it. This is my review. It's not your review. And it's an accurate review, too. Based upon a wide breadth of experience. Wider than anybody else's. No to this lens. No. Niet. Nada. Niente. No. Nein. No. Bye. This one obnoxiously overpriced lens.